Welcome to the Studio 70 podcast. Our goal is for you to join in on real, behind-the-scenes conversations about our projects and the people who make them happen. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, everybody, to the Studio 70 podcast. I'm so excited to be doing video with the audio here. So if you're used to watching us, only listening to us, just know that if you check us out on YouTube, you can see the video side as well. Super special thanks to Miss Claire Anderson, to Mr. Rick Appleby, who helped make this possible. And I'm really excited to talk with you guys. So with me, I have two students, and you guys are leading our next production, our next summer film, Knights of the Old Republic. So introduce yourself, tell us your role, and maybe how long you've been involved in Studio 70.
My name is Max McCabe. I'm a student here at King's. This is my 4th year in film, 7th year at King's. I'm really excited, I guess. I don't know.
I'm Julianne Backhurst. This is also my 4th year in film and 7th year at King's. And I am student producer for the summer film, and I'm so excited to work with everybody.
Awesome. So the student director, the student producer, and I think I told you guys this in the interview process. These are the most challenging roles that we have on the production. Being the student director and the student producer is the hardest possible job you can have, because you have to lead your peers, who are other high schoolers, the same age as you often. You have to lead them as though you were a staff member.
Yeah.
But you're not that much older than them. You don't have college degrees yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, on occasion, have to lead adults, professional adults. So you and me, when we're directing actors, you're how old? 18?
Yeah.
You're 18 years old. You have to direct a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old actor who's like in a union, who's been doing this forever. And you have to have the confidence to do that, and you'll be interacting with actors plenty, and you have directed plenty. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to just start by unpacking that with you guys. Help me understand, and the audience at home, the challenges of being a student director and a student producer, and how you plan on rising to the occasion. Maybe what are some instances where you saw this go really well on another production? We could talk about former student directors, student producers, even on the short films. And maybe a time that it didn't go so well. And so help us unpack that.
Yeah, when you're directing, I think it's very important to keep in mind, like, these actors have experience and they know what they're doing. And I think when you're working with a student, and that's at King's, when we have like students who audition and get the role in our parts, I think that with the union actors, they're definitely like more skilled and they know what they're doing. I think one thing that we learned from you over like the summer and over other projects is that we can't tell them how to say certain things. Like, directing is very challenging. It has its own challenges with how you want the actor to say something by the words you give them, and it's like it's all dependent on your own words. It's not how you tell them to say something. So
yeah, unpack that for us. So we talk about giving an actor a line reading is, when you have someone in here, they say the line, and then you say, no, say it like this. I want to go to school,
yeah.
And you actually show them where to accent the word. And really, student or not student, that's discouraged in the industry. Oh, why? Unpack that for me. Why?
Yeah, because an actor's their own person. They interpret your story their own way. And I think having you stepping in and telling them how to say something is taking away from their creative mindset. You're taking away from how they're interpreting your own story. And I think while you have a vision for your own story, you have to give that trust and that leadership in the actor themselves as well.
Right. It's like film is like a team sport.
Yeah.
So even if you're the leader, the director, we can't disqualify somebody just because they're not doing it the exact precise way that I wanted them to. Though some actors are gracious, and I've had Kyle Manning has asked us many times, just give me a line reading. Tell me exactly how you want it to say, which is so accommodating of him. But what about yourself? You both have directed short films at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You've felt that pressure before.
I think there's definitely, especially on the last Knights of the Republic film, the last summer one, there was times where it's like they would change words, and it's like, okay, we need to stay the same. Like, you can do it your own way, but we need these specific words because it matches the game. But we rarely ever, I feel like, do that. Usually we'll, give them their own touch and let them do whatever they usually feel like they need to do. And I feel like the actors have been super, super gracious, I guess, with that, because it's like sometimes it's not easiest hearing it from a 16 or 17-year-old, but they're really good at taking it. That's what's making it so good for them, I guess. So it makes them such a great actor, is to be able to take that feedback and take that like initiative. But yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. One of the reasons it goes well when we give them that freedom is because we spend a lot of time in the casting process making sure we're selecting the right person, and then you really can't screw it up, if we get the right person in that role. Well, what about your peers? Convincing younger students your own age, to follow your direction, follow your lead, has that proven difficult at times?
Yeah, it's very difficult when you're trying to, someone my age or even younger than me, trying to like lead them and direct them into the direction I was envisioning, because they have their own direction, like I said before. So like James Murphy, who's going to be in my short film this weekend, I've been working with him and like telling him certain things about our script and like walking with him through it so that he's more prepared for when this weekend does come. And I think giving him direction and him taking it is a little bit different, because he is Jimmy's his own person. Like, he has a very sharp way of seeing certain things, and I think with the direction that I'm trying to give him, most of it he does take, but some of it he's like, oh, I want to say it this way, and I like have to let loose and let him have that creative part of him.
What about with non-acting roles? As the student producer and student director, you've got 7th graders as young as 6th graders who are on this production, all the way to potentially somebody who's graduating with you as a senior. So this is how they're choosing to spend their first summer after Studio 70, is to continue making this movie. And you've got to corral them. You've got to help inspire them and encourage them and keep them focused on the task at hand. But sometimes when it comes from a peer, it feels like, did you ever feel belittled, when a former senior would have said that to you?
Yeah, I think it definitely can be taken that way depending on the delivery of it. I was definitely last year on That's the Republic when I was assistant directing. I was a little nervous, I guess, to like be interacting with all these different levels of people. And I think what kind of really helped with me with the underclassmen was a couple of the underclassmen, our middle school students, Josiah Da Silva and Aiden Crowley. I would actually hang out with them on the weekends, and we played video games and stuff together. So I was like, it was, I guess, that bonding. And then even the ones like Jackson Wallace that I didn't get to hang out with, I guess from having the time of that I hung out with them, I'm like, oh, they're just like us, but they're just a few years younger. It's like, I feel like it goes both ways. Like Dante Ayala, that's in KOTOR, he's great to work with. Like, we've worked with, I think this is our first time working with him.
Correct. Yeah.
This was our first time working with him, but like, he was so down to earth. Like, we have handshakes with him now. Like that, we didn't think that was gonna happen, but it's like, I feel like in the environment and the community that we have here, it just allows us to brew, I guess, that great creative freedom that we have. And it's like, even for students my own age, like when it comes to Addie Ernst and Constantine Moreno, it's like, I feel like it's really easy to communicate those things with them, because it's like, we all know that we have creative visions. Sometimes we've definitely butt heads on things like that, but it's not in the terms of like an argument. It's more of like, hey, I think we can do it this way and it might look better. And then you have to talk it out and be like, hey, maybe we do it this way once and we do it my way once, and then we see which one we like better and we talk about which one why.
Yeah, so it sounds like your leadership up until this point has really just been relationship based, that, when you're in strong community with these people and they have your respect and admiration, then when you ask them, hey, I need some help with this, they're quick to help because they feel like they're helping a friend. And I think Studio 70 fosters that really well. Has your leadership similarly been relationship based, or has there been any other tool in your leadership tool belt that you've tried to use? Even as chief executive, so you guys are student executives, you're our student leaders during the year, so it doesn't have to be specifically project-based.
Yeah, I think learning, like working with children since I was like 9, I think one of the major things is like love and care for each person individually. I think everyone has their own sort of like way they need to be loved on, and I think for our middle schoolers, it's just like quality time. Like Max is playing video games with them. That's how certain middle schoolers need to be loved. But I think like for us high schoolers, we need to be heard. And I think a lot of us just want to hear, like, we all just want to be heard and someone to listen to us. And I think just giving the care and the love that the person wants and giving them the respect they need, it also like bounces back most of the time. They will give the respect that I want to me.
Yeah, I've never really thought about what you just said there, that the high schooler needs love specifically through being listened to, being heard. But that's absolutely true. Let me ask you guys this. When I prepare for a production day, I've done this enough times where I think I kind of know what my temptations are going to be. My temptations towards irritability, frustration when something goes wrong, sourness. And I pray, before I go into a production day, and before we go into a project, like, God, just help me to be the leader that these people need. Help me to be generous, help me to be patient, help me to be peaceable and loving, because ultimately we're making a movie. We hope the movie's good, but if hearts are broken through that process, if people don't feel our love, then what was it all for?
Yeah.
Then the movie did more damage than it did good by the people who matter most, which are those who are closest to us before we even talk about the impact on the audience. So this is a little vulnerable, but like I shared, for me, it's like a tendency towards irritability due to stress and things not going well. Do you already have a sense of what temptations you might face, what sin might be there, or how Satan might try and lean in and push you in a direction that will make you a less effective leader?
I think mine, I feel like it's been like kind of a lingering problem, I guess, on the past ones, where I've kind of like tend to like walk around, like because I'm not like a big fan of staying in the same place, so I like walking from room to room and like kind of like communicating with people. But I feel like that's been a big problem for me, I guess. And then my second one was during the short films, I caught myself being like, once my foot was on the gas, I don't want to take it off. So I'm like, okay, let's get through this, let's get through this. But then it comes to the point where rushing, and that's I'd rather us be a little bit behind in the shot speed quality than us be rushing and getting 1 or 2 takes in every time. And I feel like I've gotten better, but I'm still not at the level that I wish to be. So that's why I'm really excited to, like, I guess, share this like mentorship with you guys and even learn from Julianne, because it's like genuinely I know I'm not perfect, none of us are perfect, so it's like to take this time and to take this experience to learn from you guys would definitely, I guess, help.
Yeah, that's great. Once you put your foot on the gas, it's hard to take it off. That's an excellent analogy.
I think for me, it's more of like me being social. I like talk to literally everybody. And I think I get myself caught in like certain conversations. Like a lot of me and the middle school girls will just start singing. And it's very distracting, especially with like King when he's like, guys, stop. But I think keeping a schedule is what's hard for me. And I think I don't keep going. I don't keep my foot on the gas, I guess. I like to take pauses and stops and breaks a lot. And I think in order to be effective and keep on time, we need to keep a steady pace. And I definitely don't keep that steady pace. So
Totally. Well, I believe in you guys. You're going to do great. And I love that you're already thinking about these sorts of elements of leadership, the past, the present, and the future. And we're going to have a really great project thanks to you. So taking a step back from this particular project and these particular roles, let's get to know you guys just a little more generally. Give me a sense of what art changed your life, maybe first. We all have a movie, book, song, or something that just really was the first, that it didn't just entertain us, it moved us, it changed the way we think, feel, it was dramatic, and maybe it's what led you to consider filmmaking, I don't know. But for me, it was the movie About Time. Actually, it wasn't Star Wars or anything that I usually talk about, or Lord of the Rings. About Time is just about a dad, a husband and a dad who learns to navigate every day and serve his family well. And when that was finally clarified through a beautiful thematic ending, I just felt completely undone. I felt like it was the first time in my life I understood the beauty of the ordinary, the beauty of a life spent loving your family and not doing anything super spectacular beyond that. So that certainly was maybe the first piece of art that thoroughly changed me. What about you guys?
I have two movies actually. One that I talk about a lot, Finding Nemo. I love Finding Nemo. And another one is I Can Only Imagine. I feel like while they're so different, they go hand in hand for my life. Um, like Marlin in the Reef, like holds on to Nemo so much and is like, this is my prized possession. I can't let him go. And I think I hold on to certain things like that in life. Like I hold on to materialistic things and like worldly things, and I cannot let these things go. But in same thing with I Can Only Imagine, it's all about trusting God and that God has everything, like he's in control of everything in your life, and just by letting your fingertips just go, like your life is going to be so much easier. And I think that when Marlon realized, like, yeah, I lost my son, I need to go find him, the entire journey way there, he realized that each individual thing is letting each finger go. And like he finally released it and let Nemo go in the end to get those fish down to the bottom and let Nemo save the day. And I think in my life, I need to just let each individual finger go and like let God have all of that in my life, and it would be so much easier.
So it's the same theme across both movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's beautiful.
I think the one that everyone knows, I'm gonna say the first one is gonna be Harry Potter. I feel like that series is just like, because I actually didn't end up watching it till late, until almost my freshman year, and when I did watch it, I was like, the idea of this, like them pitching this must have been like insane. They were like, whoa, how am I supposed to make this? And it's like 7 books into these movies. But like I feel like you see through, as the story goes, you see the story unfolding, and it was like so beautiful. But also at the same point of like me when I was like 14, I was like, what if I could go to Hogwarts? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to bring that that like just that imagination to life. And then I think my second one would be How to Train Your Dragon, the original, like the animation one, because I feel like as a kid, I mean, Hiccup were kind of in the same boat. Like I wanted to like do my dad right the whole time, and then but like we were like totally different qualities. And my dad was a football player. He's in construction. Like he's like this big tough guy, and then I'm like just this nerd who likes to like fiddle with cameras, and play video games. So I was like, I mean, and then as like I'm going through and watching it, I'm like seeing myself in Hiccup, but like I'm learning that I guess as the story goes that like freedom's not, it's not like it's given. You got to take it. It's like I can try and like beg and be like, okay, I want to be like this. I'm going to be like this. I can try as hard as I want. I'm not going to be that person. Like if I put my heart and soul into something that I love and I genuinely want to do, I will do 100 times better than something that I don't want to do, that I'm forced to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just being able to like have that freedom, I guess, in film, it just brings that creativity to life. And I think I guess it just shows, like, because even in the end, it shows like the loss of where he like loses his foot. And I feel like I feel like I lost pieces of me along the way, to where I'm like, I wish I would keep that part of me, but also at the same time, if I did, then I don't think I would be the person that I am today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that the sacrifice was ultimately worth it in building who you are currently. And I think a lot of artists, I imagine, feel that way that Hiccup did, and that obviously the author, the screenwriter did, that fulfilling the expectations of the previous generation. And we can't, and we can only hope our earthly fathers will be proud of who we become, even if it's not a carbon copy. But even when we don't get that we have a heavenly Father who designed us the way he wanted us to be. And so must be pleased when he sees us being creative and being nerdy, and whatever. That's beautiful. So we know like what it feels like to experience a piece of art, a movie that changes us. We all hope that Knights of the Old Republic 2 will be that for someone. And we're still hashing out exactly how the story is going to shape up. So we might not know the exact answer of the sort of person we're going to be able to impact. But help me think it through. What is our hope for somebody in May of 2027 when they sit down in that theater and the lights go dark, the film starts, the entire thing plays before them, and the film ends? What do we hope that person would have felt, would have experienced? What are we working towards this entire time?
I just hope that when someone watches it, they take into consideration like we're high schoolers and like we're doing this like on our free time over the summer. Like we worked so hard for this. Like me and Max personally for 4 years, like built our way up to this point. And I think I like obviously we're gonna keep in the film like Christianity and like we're mixing that into it so someone can feel the love of God through our characters and through what we're doing. And I hope and pray that that's like one of the major things that they take away from it. But I hope that they get to see each individual student in the film as well, and like our creative minds ourselves. And it's not more or less Mr. Parenti and it's him. I want it to be the students as well. Like I want to see parts of Max and certain dialogue and certain things as a co-director, as a student director. So that's what I hope.
Yeah, without opening a can of worms, I think what you said was beautiful and helps us understand why it's so important that art remain authentically human and not AI.
Yeah.
Again, we don't want to open that can of worms just yet, but AI has limited authenticity. The beautiful thing about our film is that it's made by people who care about each other, who care about art and care about the world. And your hope is that the audience would walk away and see the impression, see the humanity, see the authenticity. I love that. Did you have anything to add?
I mean, I feel like without like saying too much, I guess, is like people are gonna notice that there's like trials, I guess, or like there's problems that you're gonna go through in life, and your life can get turned upside down, and that's completely okay. It happens to everybody, and just make sure that you allow your friends and family to be the ones to help you through that, and not like everyone has different ways to cope, I guess, but like just tell somebody, I guess, be there for that person if someone comes to you, because it's like I feel like I've experienced that a little in the past, where it's like there's totally been times where I'm like, okay, I don't know who I can talk to about this, and then I go to one of you two, or I'll go to like Mr. King or something like that, which I love that we have that here. It's great, but like I feel like not everyone has that, and I feel like just like I hope this movie is a reminder that even when times are tough, you can go to somebody. Like it's okay.
Yeah. I love that you said that, because this film is different than others that we've done, in that it's an ensemble film. There's so many supporting leads that are not just along for the ride, but meaningfully impact the main character, each other. So if people could walk away feeling encouraged in community, seeing the beauty of community, the importance of it, man, that would be awesome. So same question, but not about the project, but for you two. A year and a half from now, the movie starts now. Let's dial it back a bit earlier, actually. Let's say this summer, on any given production day, a 7th grade student, a 9th grader walks in and they encounter you. And you lead them the whole day, doing your thing as producer or director. What do you hope that student experiences in your leadership? What sort of person is it?
That's all you, Mama Bear.
I want a student to, when I work with students, I try to be gentle. I don't want to criticize them too hard but teach them something in that. So I think, because I worked with middle schoolers all last summer, and I hope that something that they learn from me is that I'm not going to tell them you did that terribly, like we need to fix this completely. I think and what we do in class, we work on this where we say what worked well and what could have been better. I think in like applying that into our lives, like our daily lives, like choices my friends make, I'm like, hey, like this wasn't a great choice, but let's talk about how we can make better choices next time. Obviously I don't word it like that, but I think that having a middle schooler come up to me and ask me to lead them through the day, I want them to at the end of the day just be happy with the day and realize like I was gentle with them all day, and I was kind, and I cared for them, and I loved on them the way they specifically needed to be loved.
We hope.
Yeah.
You know, we hope that'll be it. Absolutely. And I see that in you. And that's why you've been selected for this role. But it's funny, like, just like you know that is the target, the devil knows that too.
Yeah.
You know, right? So he's going to try to knock you off. What about you? What sort of person do you pray your peers encounter when they step foot in the studio in a couple months?
I feel like the person I guess I want them to like see in me is just to be somebody who leads with, I guess, patience, because in the past there's definitely been times where it's like I feel like if someone extended patience to me, then I would have been better. I would have been like more confident myself, because it's like we're gonna learn that no matter how fast you go, there's times where you need to go slow, and that's completely okay. And I feel like I want them to notice, at least about me, that as I'm telling people what to do, or like I'm directing people what to do, I'm not doing it as a tyrant. I'm doing it as like, I don't know, like, what's it called? The guy with the orchestra.
A composer?
A
Conductor?
composer. I'm more of a conductor. Like everything's happening around me, and like I can instruct them how to do it, but it's all in a fluid motion, not as I'm saying, hey, do this, do that, do that. It's more of I want them to be like, oh, he genuinely, like, he cares for all of us. Like if someone goes down sick, I'm not gonna be like, okay, just forget about it and we keep going. It's like, no, we're gonna check on that person, make sure everything's okay. It's like there's gonna be steps and procedures to be like, listen, we need to get stuff done, but there's a way to do things in a correct way versus a not correct way.
Yes, yeah. I love what you're hitting on there, the conductor versus tyrant. You know, we're in this together. I think one word you guys both used, but that we continue circling around is plain and simple love. And I shared with both of you the other day that really is the silver bullet to every relational problem you might encounter, is just good and proper unconditional love. And it's tough because people are really annoying. You know? And so how do we capture that like lightning in a bottle? How do we magnify the scarcity of our love so that we have more to share? I think we do it in two ways. We, one, go back to the source. The more we understand the love that God has for us, the easier time we should have pouring that out on others. The second thing we can do is bring our scarcity to the Lord. And this is what our past couple of devotionals have been about, as we've seen Jesus feed the 5,000, the disciples rowing as hard as they could to get halfway through the Sea of Galilee. There's a point where you've given everything you can and you know it is just not enough. Sometimes it's a drop in a bucket, like the feeding of the 5,000, or sometimes it's halfway. You know, I was mostly nice to that person. When we hit that point, can we all agree as a leadership team to just open our palms and say, God, thank you for giving me the energy and resources to get this far. Thank you for giving me the love to love this person at least this much. Can you please help me miraculously teleport, to the other side? Would you multiply the scarcity of my love? And I think he'll be faithful and just to do it.
Yeah.
So let's commit to that. Guys, thank you so much for coming. You have dedicated so much time to the studio over the years, so many after hours, random tasks of running props here, cleaning the studio over here, filming pickup shots, getting signed out of classes to do that. It's been an amazing couple of years with you guys. I'm really, really excited. You deserve these roles. You should be so proud of yourselves. And I can't wait to actually get started filming.
Me too.
Thanks again for joining us today. If you enjoyed our content, consider subscribing. Studio 70 is a division of the King's Academy, a K-12 private Christian school in West Palm Beach, Florida. For more information, visit studio70.tv